coming back to me. I feel as if my memory is paralyzed.
Now let's see. What is the last thing you can remember?
I don't know.
Go on. Wait a minute.
Hello everyone, my name Hello, it's actually me this time. Sorry about that. I went to YouTube to make the community post, and normally I go straight to the community tab with a URL. This time I just went straight to my channel page, and it also played a video. So sorry if that came through suddenly very loud. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. And give me 2 seconds to finish writing this YouTube post and close the door to my office. There we go. All right. And Okay. That'll do. Hi, it's me. Alright, how's everyone doing? Once again, sorry for the jump scare. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Hope everyone had a nice weekend.
Just prime.
Especially if you're in the States seeing family and whatnot this weekend. Or even if you're just hanging out by yourself. That's. I hope you enjoy your own company. And hope you enjoy my company today on this stream. First of all, Useless Rogue, thank you for the 15 months. State of Disgrace with the 4. And Milk Dub Bouquet with 100 bits. Thank you all for the support. Welcome in. And yeah, today we're going to be cleaning up the base a little bit. Leonor, thank you so much for the 3 months of Prime. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, we're going to clean up this town. We're going to try and get rid of as many Sculk catalysts as we can today. And minor spoilers, which won't be entirely spoilers if you've seen Joe Hills' stream the other day. We shouldn't be in danger of any more Sculk catalysts showing up. We'll put it that way. Some videos will be out this week that may resolve matters somewhat. So yeah, hopefully that should all be fun for you guys to watch. I've just finished editing my point of view on that. Really funny. Also got a very funny blooper reel that I'm probably going to turn into a YouTube short because I don't know, I make YouTube shorts now. That seems to be a thing. Anyway, let's hop on in. Let's hop into Empires and let's do this. Nobody else online right now, actually, which is kind of a surprise. It's been quite busy the last little while, but I think some people are just enjoying their Thanksgiving weekend if they're in the United States. And the rest of the time, they're probably just chilling, I guess. But yeah, as you see from the tab list, just me right now. Yeah, some people are enjoying the shorts. I gather that the Grian one really took off the other day, of saving Grian from Bedrock, and that one now has nearly 1 million views, which is kind of wild. I need to put some stuff away here. I had a visit from Pearlescent Moon, finally, on camera. That was lovely. Yeah, we got a few other bits and pieces to do here, but I'm just going to throw some stuff into this for the minute. We're going to have a lot of Sculk Vein and Sculk blocks on us. We've got a lot of Sculk catalysts already. I might grab a sprite of the Sculk catalyst and do what we did with the ancient debris when we like counted off, you know? I think it'd be kind of fun to have a counter running for how many catalysts we dig up. So we might do that. Let's throw these in here. Let's actually get some... I don't have any paper. I guess it's all in my shulker box for it, right? It'll be in here somewhere. Yeah, so I need to put away these fireworks so I don't end up using them. And let's throw that in there. Let's make up some more fireworks. Like so. And that should tide us over for the minute. And let's see. Kitsune, thank you for the 100 bits. Ginger, thank you for gifting a sub to Jones. Galaxy Boy with the 4 months. You're 1/3 of a nerd, of course. Thank you so much for the 4 months. And Gamer Coralin, thank you so much for the 5 months of Prime. Welcome back. We're all up to speed, I think. Let's throw some of this in here. All temporary, of course. I'm going to sort it out later on. I've got a lot of lapis on me from enchanting stuff. Actually used some levels to enchant a thing the other day. So that was a delight. Yeah, we got a Silk Touch hose, so we can grab any of these catalysts and what have you. And I am going to pay close attention to the sky here, but I should have, because I still have this. That's not a thing anymore, so I can delete that. We've got counter, we've got debris. Yeah, we can modify this to be about Sculk instead. How about that? So let's change... We're doing this on the fly because apparently I just do this now. Let's change the gradient color here to something a little bluer. Something a little bit more cyan. Maybe. There we go. We got something like that. And then I just need to swap the sprite of that for a Sculk catalyst, which I can grab a picture off the Minecraft wiki, probably. Alright. See if we can drag that over. There it is. Oh, that's crop. Hang on. How do I scale? There it goes. That's scaled weirdly. There we go. Alright. Just overlay that. Hide the debris. Lock. Okay, and then we need to edit the counter file just to make sure that it starts at 0. In fact, I think we probably need to delete the counter file and just have it make another one. There we go. Alright, we have a counter now. It works. Alright. Iograms, thank you so much for the 11 months. Canada Ham, thank you for the 3. Appreciate that very much. Okay, sun's going down. I'll probably bring a bed with me since that'll be easier than just running back to this spot every time. I'm also going to turn the music down a touch. Right. I don't know where I threw a bed last, so we could bring this one with us. Kind of surprised I don't have a spare one in here somewhere. Is that how much ancient debris I've found, or just the SMP? I think we did a counter for that on Survival Guide a little while ago. So the counter is not linked to any in-game data. That was just something that we were keeping track of on stream. But yeah, no, that was very much a Survival Guide thing to my recollection. Got a whole stack of coal in here. So for folks who watch Joe on a regular basis, do you know if he actually removed the catalysts from where these banners were? Or did he just leave a banner marking them so that I could come back and find them later? Shouldn't it start at 0, not 1? Well, yeah, but it started at 0 and I needed to check that it worked, so I added 1 to the counter. So he did remove the catalysts from there. Okay, great. So in that case, we don't need to worry about any of those. We just need to start looking for the ones that Joe didn't find. Have a little bit of coloured wool in there. Do I have any, like, dyes in any of this? Just white dyes, which isn't really what I'm looking for when the bed is already white. I just think having a cyan bed for this would be really funny and thematic. Yeah, he removed any of the ones which he mapped, that he put banners on. Hey, it's Loyraid coming over from YouTube. Welcome in. Lovely to see you folks. Hope you had a good stream. I was lurking for a little bit. Did the boy get his concrete? And so the way Joe was doing this, which I think is actually a pretty smart way to do this, is grab a Lightmatica tool. If I have one around here, I probably have one in in one of these utility shulkers somewhere. Or I can just craft a wooden axe. They're not that expensive. Let's do this. And then I'll need to set this on to render so that... Hello? There it is. Okay, good. We clearly still have one over here, because that's cropped up since I've cleaned up some of this. So that's some stuff that we can fill back in with dirt. He only started using Lightmatic after he'd already done the majority of them. Yeah, I think hence the slightly haphazard way in which he has dug up my roads. Oh, I think the first thing I need to do actually is go and remove all the catalysts from under the bridge. That would be nice. But I'll grab a stack of dirt. A stack or two. In fact, I've got some grass blocks. I might as well bring those too. Were the roads always spleefed? No. There was a lot more texture to them before that. And then they got dug up and dug around. So I'm going to probably just fill this lot in with grass for now. Although there's probably some more stone in some of these, but yeah, it was kind of difficult to remember what I had in some of these areas. Dr. Metal Warrior, who's been really fun to collab with during the crossover? Everyone. And I mean that sincerely. It's been so fun just getting way more collaborative stuff done than I normally do, because there are twice as many people on the server, and everybody is looking to collab in like a short range of time, right? So that's just all been incredible for me. I think it's been really, really fun. We can remove this real fast. We're just going to drop down through the bridge. We'll ignore the fact that I'm not supposed to know the black market is there. But I do, so it's not like everybody hasn't been spamming it in my comments since the Emerald Ore was stolen. But, you know, welcome to the behind-the-scenes stuff that I do on streams, I guess. It's like speed dating for Minecraft content creators. Pretty much, yeah. Hello, chaps. Do I plan on restoring everything to what it was before the Sculk? I mean, I'd like to. I think it's still fun if some Sculk pops up every so often. But, yeah, I really would prefer that some of the blocks that I placed stay that way, you know? Nothing under there. Okay, good. It's been a while since we've been back under the bridge. And the counter isn't going to update automatically, so I'm going to have to update that manually. And it's honestly easier to do that in bulk than it is to do this, like, over and over again, you know? It kind of creates crime scenes. It does. I think the main problem is that mobs can die without players being involved, because zombies and skeletons and stuff will burn in the sun. And because they are... There we go. Because they are mobs that would normally drop XP when they get killed, I think they still do. Okay, there's nothing there. I figured there might be some underneath. Like, there was definitely one underneath that ladder down to the black market, but there's a bunch of towers off to each side which could have Sculk catalysts under them if he decided to put them there. Doesn't look like there's anything, unless there's one, like, down here or something. And to be fair, like, I know it seems kind of cheaty to use free cam to find a lot of these, but there are so many of them that I'm going to do it anyway. Does this one come up? Oh, it comes up under Joel's bit. Okay, fair enough. The heck is this? Do I want to know what that is? Probably not. Oh, here's some other behind-the-scenes apparatus that I'm not going to explain, but it's quite funny if you know what it is. Cub got permission before he put catalysts everywhere. Sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission. But, you know, we have a, whatever you'd call it, like a gentleman's rule, which is such a weird way of putting it. But people recognize that this is all just good content. How to get so many catalysts? Probably started a warden farm. Somewhere. You know, you're meant to use a hoe to break those? Yeah. Yeah, the hoe is the effective tool for all Sculk blocks, including... Oh, there's a... Well, we can thank Cub for the fact that I realized there's a gap there that I should be filling at some stage. Unless people want to be able to fly into the bridge, which I guess they could. It'd be kind of funny. A little worried at how mad I've seen people in the audience get at Cub. Yeah, and some people just don't like griefing, you know? It's like, I mean, people in the audience are also getting mad at people making fun of Jimmy, but, like, that's Jimmy's whole brand. What's the catalyst in the corner mean? I'm counting how many of them we collect. So I've got a lot to add to it right now. The hoe usually mines plant-related blocks. Does that mean Sculk is similar to plants? I think near enough, yeah. I think the main reason is because Sculk behaves very similarly to moss. And so I think it's quite intuitive that players use the same tool for both Sculk and moss because of the spread mechanics. I think I've got all the ones from under the bridge now. So we'll hop out the end here and we'll see where else. Thought Sculk was like a creepy fungus. I guess it kind of is. I think we're going to get some sleep around here. Zombie Jose, thank you for the 24 months. Sonic Warrior, thank you for the 34. Ellipsis MC, thank you for the tier 1. And Absolute Territory NA, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Have the fountains gotten any more ore? Yes. There are 2 Deep Slate Emerald ore blocks in there, or there should be, unless somebody's come by and taken them without my knowledge. But I don't think that many people know that the Wishing Fountain is there unless they watch my videos, which I didn't expect everybody to do. So the way I'm going to handle most of the rest of this, because I don't know for certain what's in the side portions of the bridges here.
Well, that's just prime.
It sure is. Annex, thank you so much for the Prime sub. So we're going to throw a bounding box here. Probably starting there. Doesn't matter hugely. And the opposite side can be over here, I guess. And we'll go up a little bit. And it's not going to be any higher than this. Alright. And then we'll save this. We'll start a new folder for this, I think. Sculk tests. Bridge ramps. Save schematic. And then we'll create a placement for that. And then we'll go into placement mode. Push that down into the bridge. Yeah, this is placing it in a weird kind of direction, but that's not a huge issue. What we can do is take a quick look at this, look at the material list, and see if it includes... It does include 6 Sculk catalysts. So they are in here. Now what we can do is using the All Below tool, we can see where those are, as long as it's overlaid correctly on the area we are trying to survey. So if I go into free cam mode real fast, we pull this around, and I guess we push it that way. Like so, and then like this. See, what Cub didn't realize when he decided to mess with me is that I have some of the most sophisticated holographic imaging tools available to Minecraft. So, let me see. Is this all over one block, I guess? Or is it like mirrored weirdly or something? Or am I just not placing it in the right? There we go. Okay, that's great. So now I can bring this up by 1 and then drop the display by 1. Bring it up by... Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay. Bring it up by 1 again. And we should hopefully, with that, be able to see that if we dig straight down here, we find a Sculk catalyst. And that's another one. And if we dig down straight here, oh, hang on. I need to actually grab the right ones. So we have found that one. And now what we could do, if we're feeling really fancy about this, is edit the schematic to remove these so I know which ones I've got. Of course, that runs into other problems a little bit later. Cub hit a lot. Yeah, he had like 2,000 of the things. Right. Not seeing any immediately over here. But let's quickly put the schematic back where it was. Because there's one there. Oh, I turned on cinematic camera mode, and it's raining. $63. Almost found a full stack of these things now. I could also turn off the rendering mode just to make sure that we didn't miss another one under there. Oh, dang it. Okay, I should have locked the origin. Okay, so now... Go check in the bridge? Yeah, I got like the first chunk of this stack I basically got from under the bridge. Okay, let's quickly pull that up. Push it down by 1. There's another one right there. Okay, that is a successful test of that method of finding them. So that at least makes me confident that we can find the others without there being too much fuss. I think we got the ones from directly underneath here. I think the next area we need to test is the road. And probably the surrounding buildings as well. Joe has obviously done a bit of work here. But yeah, the avenue is going to have some. There's already one right here. And so that's going to be up to and including these blocks here, I guess. How long is Empire Season 2 going to run at least? It's going to be longer than last season, and I don't know how other people are feeling about it, so that's not really for me to announce or anything, but it seems like it's going to last a little bit longer. Let's see, let's decrease the Y on that. Analyze area. We have 16 Sculk catalysts to find under this. I think I might widen it by 1 block. Oh, hang on. Did it on this side. Okay. So can I widen it that way? I love this song. This feels like exactly the right type of song to be removing Sculk catalysts by. Right. We'll save that as avenue. And then we'll load it. And I guess if we're creating a placement, we need to create it over here. The other tool we have at our disposal is the catalysts themselves. Because if stuff dies around here, we'll be able to see where they are. But I am going to sleep just so I don't end up encountering creepers or whatever when I'm trying to muck about with the schematics. Okay, try and render all above. Okay, so we got one directly under here. Nice easy find. That is a stack and 1. 65. One directly under here as well. See, the child's play to find once you know how to do it. I'll probably swap the wooden axe for my regular axe, I think, for the time being, just so it's easy to scroll over and boot these out of existence. And the rest of that is not going to display any. There's probably some hidden down these like little roads and stuff as well. Right. Let's go back to schematic placement. We'll take a quick look from the air. Scroll it up by 1 and down by 1. Should reveal the next layer. Yep, perfect. Says bubble wrap levels of satisfying. Gosh, I hope so. Okay, that's just telling me that there's a dirt block under there. That's nothing new. Delete that and that. Hey, Mirtona. I'm doing well, yes, thanks for asking. Got a bit of a task on our hands here, but I think we're up to the challenge. Down one. Okay, there's one there. Yeah, we should be able to see them pretty easily this way. That looks like the only one that's there. Got one coming up, which we'll keep an eye out for. Yeah, Joe's already found a couple here anyway, so... Okay, let's see. One there. Okay, those are all taken care of. Should check the copper and enderman farms. I'm sure I will. I think the copper farm is difficult to grief because there's no transformable blocks there. But, I don't know about the enderman farm. Hang on. I'm editing the schematic instead of using my tools here. It's the one problem with this schematica method of getting all of this done. Okay, I know that one's there, so we can remove that. Quick check in this cave in case he found the cave and decided to go further down. No real reason to, though. Okay, we've got that. Nice. There we go. Is David Sculk free? I haven't checked. Probably not. I'm going to assume that everything on the server has been done at some point. Let's do a quick... I mean, this last one has the torches around here. I think my schematic doesn't go far enough down to cover that. I think this is all solid underneath as well, so... That was weird for a second. Cub said he didn't do the inside of bases. Well, my base doesn't exactly have doors, so... Forgive me for being cautious. Let's remove that, and let's do a slightly more comprehensive area selection. Just of this section here. Avenue entrance. If we load that, take a look at the material list. There are 4 Sculk catalysts in this region. Kagan Watson, thanks so much for the 9 months. Still Sculk everywhere? Well, we're getting rid of the catalysts now, so we're basically cutting off the problem at the source, where it is possible to do so anyway. Let's get this into place here. Like that. Okay, there they are. See, when it's flat ground like this, it's much easier to find them, because then it's just like a single layer like that that we can go through and remove. Okay, oh, he took some coal ore out of there, didn't he? Or maybe the coal ore's further down. $78. Not bad. You want you to find catalysts until the server ends? Honestly, I don't. I would rather just get them all gone now. Let's see. Remove that. There are a bunch inside the bridge. I already got them. I'm going to remove Joe's banners as well, to signify that we are actually patching this stuff up now. What am I going to do with all of them? Honestly, we're still on 1.19, so Sculk Catalysts are still a pretty decent source of XP. I don't need XP right now, as you can tell from the fact that I have 396 levels, but I think I might just destroy them all for XP. Yeah, I can at least repair my tools that way, I suppose, yeah. Does Lightmatica go through walls? Yes. Just waiting for the sun to properly go down. There we go. Are the vines compostable? You mean the veins? I don't think so. I don't think anything about Sculk is compostable. Check under the doors. I already checked the schematic. There are only 4 Sculk catalysts over there, and we got them all. So there's definitely one here. And this is from a mob that has been killed in sunlight, because I definitely didn't do this. I don't think anybody else has been killing mobs around my base intentionally. So there is one under here somewhere. Or there was, and it's been moved. Nothing under there, okay. Cool, let's do a quick analysis of this area. That should be enough. And let's, once again, patch 1. I'm gonna have to start using, like, theoretical numbers for these, how many there's gonna be. Let's put this there, run all below, I know. Okay, cool, that's good. So we remove this. Hang on, I'm doing this the wrong way. Okay, looks like it isn't there. So either that's been made and the Sculk catalyst has been removed, or it's not in the patch we sampled. So that's an interesting conundrum. Yeah, it has an 8-block radius of blocks that it can take over. Obviously, it tries to find ones which have exposed faces. So we have to sample larger areas generally. Need to check inside of here. That seems mostly okay. Joe found that one. Some bases couldn't have many, like Animalia. Yeah, like, I think he avoided anywhere that had villagers that could be killed by changing the torches out and stuff. There was some measure of logic applied to it. The main area that I wanted to touch on after this I will just quickly check from the top down if there are any in these. Which there might be, like, buried underneath some of the grass in there or something. But I don't know if any of that would be particularly visible. We might try those later. But obviously, Joe found a lot under the road. So I want to make sure that those have been taken care of. Yep, there's one there. Never realized properly that these things give off a little bit of light. So they kind of self-spawn proof in an interesting way. I assume he hasn't gone down here because that's a regular torch. The masochist spawn proofing. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Okay, let's... I think start here. Because we basically did up to this point, right? So let's go... Let's have this as our starting corner. And this is the other corner. Who could backseat someone with as many YouTube tutorials as I have? You'd be surprised. And backseating isn't just about telling me how to play the game. It's telling me, like, what to do at any given moment. Obviously, we have a couple of patches over here. Right. Let's save this. And... Wait, hang on, bring that back. That was roughly it, right? Can someone explain what's going on, please? So Cubfan has been doing this thing for the last little while where he placed a bunch of Sculk catalysts under people's bases. And by a bunch, I mean like in excess of 200. I'm removing them. I'm trying to find all of the ones that we haven't already found and remove them. Because my base is built almost entirely of natural blocks. So basically whenever the Sculk catalysts activate, then they have a chance of replacing like the blocks I've actually been building with instead of just like natural blocks like grass or whatever. And so to avoid it damaging my stuff I've been building for the foreseeable future, I'm just trying to remove all of them now. Will I clean off other bases? I will if people ask me to, but it's a lot of work, as you can tell from this. I've been doing this for an hour, and I have, like, a stack and a bit. So, let's see. I need to increase our rendering level. Okay, we can also... Actually, before I go much further, first I'll sleep. Have I been tagged yet? No, I've not. Does it only activate for hostile mobs or all mobs? Anything that dies. Anything that would drop XP when it dies. And that also seems to include mobs which die on fire from sunlight. Because there have been a couple of patches over here that have happened since we've started doing this. That I have not killed a mob here. So I assume that that is mobs dying in sunlight. Okay, we've got one right there. Wading through schematics to find these is also kind of a pain because the transparent blocks are everywhere. Right, let's bring that back up. Add one to the counter. We'll need to remove that from the schematic. Cool. How's Lightmatica helping to find them? Well, for a start, it can analyze areas of terrain. So if I take a look at the material list for this entire area that I've taken a schematic of, I can see that there are 7 Sculk catalysts unaccounted for, and there's also some Sculk and Sculk vein from where it's been spreading. So I can find that. I don't have the exact coordinates of each of those blocks, but with Lightmatica, I can basically project this entire area upwards, and then block by block I can go through raising the schematic like that, and then it will show me effectively where those blocks are, because it only renders up to a certain height. So yeah, it's possible to find them that way through a bit of like trial and error, basically. It leads me straight to them instead of me having to dig up everything I've ever built in order to find them, which would just be an untenable situation. There we go. I'll do these layer by layer, and then remove that one and that one, so we know we've got them, which leaves 5 left in this area. If you died in his Sculk with 400 levels, would the spread be larger than the ordinary mob with barely any XP? So the player only ever drops 100 XP on death, regardless of how many levels you have above that. It only counts the first, like, 7.5 XP levels, which is the amount that you get from 100 XP. So, like, you know when you go back to your corpse, when you go back to collect all your items after you've died somewhere, and you have, like, a bunch of XP on you when you died, but you only ever get 7 and a bit levels back, that's the amount of XP that you drop. That's 100 XP. Okay, so those are more banners that Joe has found. Gonna drop the level by a couple here so that we can better see what's going on. Oh, I think I just moved it laterally instead of vertically. Or did I? No, that still looks okay. Yeah, this is getting kind of laggy, unfortunately. There might be some, like, out here as well. Like, there's probably some out in the grassy areas. Because Joe seems to have gotten a lot of them under the road. Yeah, there'll probably be some near the Froglight trees as well. There'll be some down here by the farm. Joe's already found a couple of those where the banners are. Like, you could sort of see them through here as well. Okay, so I think a lot of the ones that we haven't found are going to be in this area, because I don't see that many others around the road. So that's everything back where it was. Is it possible to ignore the non-catalyst blocks to make them viewing them easier at a glance? Yeah, I think so. I think I have to do something with Lightmatica where if I pull this up again... Hang on. Oh, yeah, I'm moving it sideways again. Yeah, like if I look at dirt blocks here, for example, and I use the edit schematic tool, I think I can press these two and like, no, hang on. There is a hotkey somewhere in here which left and right bracket should be, yeah, replace all, but it replaces all with a different type of block. So I could make them all like buttons or something. So I don't know if I can do that. Because like if I did this, for example, that changes all of those stone blocks into dirt, but I can't change them all into air. I think the best thing I could do would be to turn them all into something that has like the smallest possible hitbox, like string. We could do string. Glass would probably render a lot of transparency and weird stuff. So I'm not entirely certain I want to do glass. We can try glass, and then I'll try string after that. Yeah, string or buttons. Buttons was going to be my other option, but buttons are just kind of awkward. Because you can still, like, see a lot of stuff. Let's try light grey glass as an option. Could change the catalyst into something more visible. I could, but the problem is not that the catalysts are difficult to spot. It's just that there's so much material here. Glass panes would be worse because they'd all connect. The schematic would have them all connecting. And that would not look great. Alright, so let's try light grey glass as an option. Oh, that's not bad, actually. That's... I mean, it's still awful to look at when you're in it. But that certainly made that a little easier. Can I do that when I'm just, like, floating around it like this? No, I guess not. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can. Okay, well, that makes things slightly easier there, doesn't it? Problem is it also relies on block states for some of this. So that's a little difficult. So now I've turned most of the stuff here into glass. We might be able to raise the schematic and fly around inside it and see if we can find the Sculk catalysts, I guess. Like, the problem is, yeah, like, how do we turn this to our advantage now? Oh, and I'm moving the area, not the schematic. That's the problem. Oh gosh, that's laggy. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, right? And yeah, I can't look around inside it. I just have to look down through it like this. So that's got potential. Can sort of see what's going on from the outside. Inside is still a giant mess. Okay. Yeah, most are just going to be under surface level, but it's a question of digging down exactly where. It's like I'm effectively playing Minesweeper with my entire base. This is a large area. I can't really rely on random sampling to find these things. So that's really part of the problem. We've got one there, one there. I don't know how well this is coming across on stream, but this feels really laggy for me to watch in-game. There's a creeper right there. I don't know where he is relative to me, but again, this is the problem, right? I kill one of these. There's probably a catalyst somewhere under the surface. It's going to be quite a nice sight to have mobs actually drop XP for the next little while, I think. Okay, so we've got two directly here. Oh, well, I've got the glass there now. Oops. Yeah, that's going to be another problem with this approach. It's an interesting problem to solve. That's a stone block. So now if I look at my placed schematic, I look at the material list, that still says 7, so... It's not like we're removing them from the schematic area. I think that's just all surface level and the catalyst is somewhere else. There's one right there that's caused that. So yeah, that catalyst over here that we just removed might have caused that to spread there. I think that seems like the most likely outcome. You return with breakfast, your cat tried to eat all of it? Oh no! What did you have for breakfast that your cat was that interested? To be fair, our cats, they weren't like omnivores or whatever, but they'd eat little pieces of tortilla and stuff. There's one there. Oh, not that one. So like here. This one? That one. There. If I'd gotten into that hole, I would have seen it. Okay, I think from this point on, Ratio Road is pretty safe. We are currently on, what is that, 87? Again, the problem with this is that so many of my builds around here are not on flat ground, which makes it virtually impossible to find these easily. Nothing under here. Okay, cool. For peace of mind and outside law, did Cub clear this with everyone before he caused this much destruction? No comment. Need a mob that feeds on Sculk? I would love that right now. Love a catalyst detecting mob in particular. Hello. Right. Now, the rest of what's left here should just be Joe's banners.
Well, that's just prime.
And there might still be a few of those around here. More generally. A subtype of the sniffer? Oh, that'd be fun.
Well,
I would not
that's
mind that.
just prime.
Hephaestus, thanks so much for the Prime sub. That Dolphin Gamer with the Prime sub as well. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I presume all of the catalysts Joe found were, like, directly underneath the road, so with hollow builds like this, it's much easier to see where he's done his work. I really need to start carrying scaffolding around with me again. I always miss scaffolding when I'm not using it. What were the banners about? That's where Joe has marked a catalyst that he has removed. James, what's up, James? Thanks so much for the 4 months. Hope you're having a good weekend, my dude. Joe's removed many catalysts, but still not enough. I mean, Joe's removed, like, above and beyond what I ever hoped that he would do, so Joe has been a tremendous help. Mr. Context, what's happened with Sculk? So Cubfan wandered into the fog of the Evermore at some point and came out possessed by Sculk and wanting to spread it around the server. He ended up replacing a bunch of people's torches and lanterns with soul torches and soul lanterns to promote mob spawning, and he put Sculk catalysts under basically everybody's bases. Did we come up this side initially? I think we did. Yeah, okay, cool. Keep hearing Sculk capitalists. Yeah, I mean... Ignore that, by the way. That's not me trying to cheat. That's me pressing the wrong buttons for my hotkeys. Okay, so we can assume Ratio Road is pretty safe. I think I'm going to do the Froglight Farm next. This is going to be a real pain as well. Hamster Kazam, thanks so much for the tier 1 sub. Okay, now I can get rid of this enormous Lightmatic that's bugging everything out, and we can re-enable this. Will there ever be an Empire season without some form of corruption? Probably, yes. We've only done 2 seasons so far. 2 is a coincidence, not a correlation. Did the person who placed all the catalysts say roughly how many they hit around the base? Not around this base specifically, but in total around the server it was over 2,000. And I'm pretty sure he did the Nether and the End too with a good handful more. Alright, let's quickly throw this in. I mean, I doubt it will be that low, but there's enough dips in the terrain here that I will just want to make sure of that. We'll save this as orchards. And re-import that. Get into placement mode, put that there. And take a quick look around. Okay, yeah, we can do this. And if we wanted to, I guess we could do the same thing we did last time, where we turn each of these into glass blocks. Turn the dirt into glass as well. And if I can reach one of those path blocks like this, I'll do those too. So now... Oh yeah, let's... Oh, we got one there. We got one there. Don't see that many out between the trees. Then the trees have a lot of other blocks in, which are kind of obscuring my view here and there. But I think there's just a couple over here by the dodos, I guess in case we killed the dodos. Just replace all catalysts in an area and verify the schematic. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know how that... Don't know how that helps me. Oh, hang on. Yeah, the dodo doubles are a little bit weird. Let's quickly check our material list. Yeah, we only had the 2. Okay, that's great. That's fine. We can remove that. Have I thought about building a dodo farm? I mean, this kind of is the dodo farm, if anything. And if you breed them, they're horses, right? Like, they're retextured horses. If you breed them, you get a horse. It's not, like... the baby ones are just, like this, except their legs don't render properly. It'd be kind of a mess. I'm using the schematic to remove catalyst. I'm using the schematic to find the catalysts. Yes. I suggest replacing the catalyst in the schematic, moving the schematic back in place and using the verifier. I don't understand what the verifier is. That's not a tool I've seen. Let's unload these. So, like, okay, let me try and understand what you guys are talking about here. So, if I take an area selection of, say, this farm over here, right? We'll probably drop that down a little bit, because there might be some stuff underneath here, and I'll need to lower that just to make sure we're covering all of the ground in the area. I save that. We'll call that farm. Okay, then I load the farm schematic, right? Let's take a quick look. 2 Sculk catalysts appear here, right? So you want me to replace those once I've found them in here. Okay, Joe already found one in the farm, so that's good. I don't know where these ones are. Okay, there's one up here. So, I replace this with what exactly? Talk me through it again. The number of catalysts found does not include what Joe found. No, Joe found probably another 100 or so. Ashley Smites, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. And Mr. Froggies, thank you for the 12 months. Everyone spam the word nerd in the chats. Thank you so much for that 12-month resub. Enjoy your new nerd sub badge. Thank you so much for supporting the channel for a full year. And you guys can spam nerd whilst I try and figure out what I'm supposed to be doing here. Turn the catalyst to dirt in the schematic, then put the schematic in position. It says the Sculk catalyst is a wrong block. But then that shows up through other blocks, somebody was saying.
Well,
so like if I do... If I put this in edit mode and I do this, then I should be able to move this back into place. Which is like there. Okay, so that's now in the right place. And is there like a setting? Schematic verifier. Start verification? Okay, it's found one Sculk catalyst that I replaced with dirt. Okay, and it shows up there. Right. That's handy. But it only found that one. And it said there were 2 in here, so I guess it didn't replace all of them. It just replaced the one that I just did. I mean, that's still very helpful. Yeah, the schematic verifier thing, didn't know about that at all. So thank you for educating me on that one. I really appreciate your patience with me. Let's quickly check our schematic placement here. and go materialist, because it says there are 2 Sculk catalysts in here, so we still need to find another one. Yeah, I was trying to replace all of them. That's what the hotkeys I was using were supposed to do, but I guess it might not have done it because I was floating around this way. So I'm not really sure what the best approach to that is. Let's get this back. Let's pull this out one more time. And let's try and break this down layer by layer. So there is our other one. So I can go up and find that now anyway. If I just push that back down. But yeah, that verify thing, if I have a reliable way of swapping all of those out and verifying that, then that's useful. It only replaces in the visible layers. Oh, so this one was too high up. That's probably right then. Okay, well now I know I can do that. This should hopefully be a little bit less painful. Right. I just got to find one that's quite high up and close to the surface, I guess. And then I should just be able to do that with a much larger area. That's handy. Yes, we do have Skulkamania, yeah. Blazerham Lincoln, thanks so much for the 6 months of Prime. Welcome back. Okay, so I basically want to do that over my entire base, because then the schematic verifier can tell me where one Sculk catalyst is. Well, I mean, it can just show me the Sculk catalyst, and then it doesn't have to render everything else. Anyway, we need to update the counter, because we are now 4 ahead. We are at 91. Yeah, place our own catalyst and then do that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Is there a way to replace all the same blocks at once? Yes, there is. And now people have given me an excellent idea about how to do that. I feel a lot happier. So I guess the outer area that we would want to... Like, I don't know if there's any over by the aqueducts. Like, they'd be around the base of here, maybe? Like, if I take a quick sample of this, then I will know. Can you replace materials in the manifest? Unfortunately, no. You can only ignore them, and ignore doesn't seem to do much to the rendered schematic in general. It just ignores them from the material list if it's like blocks of stone or grass or something from around the build that aren't actually building materials for you. Let's do this. Okay, cool. That should be down far enough. If I save that... Aqueducts... I guess we don't even need to save it. We can just hit Analyze Area. Okay, there's no Sculk Catalysts there, so we don't need to worry about those. Yeah, Joe was doing it by, like, loading the material list and then kind of going, okay, there are this many, let me try and get inside Cubfan's head, whereas it seems like this way of doing it is going to be a lot more reliable at strictly finding them. Right. I basically need to get all the way over here, because the highest point I suspect any of them will have been placed will be like around here somewhere. Just in the land sort of surrounding this tower. So that's our starting point. This is going to be a huge area. The one thing I'm not keen on happening is the thunderstorm. Because if something like that happens, we will have a lot of mobs spawning around here with very little ability to control them. Okay, cool. Let me do this. Yeah, Joe was very new to Lightmatica, so I'm actually very impressed with what he was able to do. Base footprints. Okay, and if I analyze this area, well, there are fewer than 100. There are 75 Sculk catalysts still in this area, is what that says. Right there. 75. And I've already gathered 91, and Joe already found about 90. So that's about 250? About 250 total, I think. Okay, so now we load this schematic, which is going to be incredibly laggy, and that's the corner. Okay, so we can place that up here. And then one thing that annoys me is that you can't just hold down the page up button to do this. Oh, okay. Alright, now that's slightly easier to look at because it's not trying to render stuff on top of what we've already got here. So that's slightly easier to look at. But now we should be able to replace this with dirt on behalf of the entire schematic, right? Because all of this should currently be rendered in. So now that's showing up wrong. And now every other Sculk catalyst in the schematic should in theory be showing up wrong too. So we configure this, we go schematic verifier. We start verification for wrong blocks, and it should show us expected dirt found 75 Sculk catalysts. And so, hang on, let me get back to this. So I should now be able to see where those are. Theoretically. Why can I not, then? Ah, okay. Is Cub going to replace all the catalysts the second my stream ends? No. So there are a bunch around here. Click on the catalyst in the list to render. Thank you. Okay, perfect. You guys are incredible. Can I just say thank you so much? Thank you so much for your patience with me. This is making my job much easier. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Okay, what was that, 95, 97? Yeah, 97. $98. $99. $100. Apologies for the schematic verifier errors. I think it's probably going to resolve itself after this. 101. Equa32, thank you so much for the 2 months of Tier 1. Appreciate that so much. Thank you. Cub doesn't do anything by halves. Well, there's no half Sculk catalysts. So, anyone got any Sculk catalyst slabs out there? I tell you what would be kind of cool to commemorate this whole thing would be if the Wandering Trader sells Sculk catalyst mini blocks. Like, that'd be kind of incredible. Like a Sculk catalyst play ahead. That's 103 now. Yeah. Speaking of Wandering Traders. I brought a bed with me and then I'm like, "Hey, let me go sleep in my normal bed." Love watching the technical aspect of what's going on. Don't really understand it. I mean, I don't really understand it. So he didn't go into anyone's bases, though, huh? And the schematic ends there, so, like, we'll see. We'll do the Catacombs layer and David as a separate pass. Oh, that's moss, not grass. There we go. Okay, let's update the counter real quick. That's 116. There we go. Okay, that's the schematic saying, hey, that was a piece of grass a second ago. It's fine. Yeah, not keen on that. We missed one over here. How many catalysts left? I don't know. If I look at my verify... Oh, 45. It does update. Okay, cool. So that is 120. There we go. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Weird four-eyed cats. Yeah, this is more... It's more than 10. It's more than 10. Can start removing the banners and stuff as well. Yeah, it's definitely much less laggy doing it this way. There's a bunch under the animal pens, and some of the animals are just like standing in the holes created by the ones that were already there. I'll come back around for the ones in here because I want to resample that. The hermits would pay for this service. I think they need to get Cub to do it pro bono. Put the cub grind to work, undoing the prior cub grind. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sometimes the hermits would look directly at the catalyst in their base and just leave them. That confused me. Or maybe they just figured it wasn't their problem. I wonder if there are any down there in that cave. Because it's not like I'm using that. Fine with it spreading down there. What's that now? 138. Yeah, I'm not keeping up with the counter at all here. I'm just trying to get it done. Infect cub with some cleaning lady spores. I'm pretty sure Pearl isn't a fungus, but I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of it that's dug up around here that Joe has valiantly tried to locate some catalysts, and he got one of them there. dug up around, like, where the old nether portal was and everything. Hang on, 143. Okay, I won't count the next two. Stuff in Minecraft stacking to 64 makes me bad at maths. It's definitely not a deficiency with me, it's all Minecraft's fault. Joe's a good egg. Joe's a very good egg. Like, I have such an appreciation for Joe. Like, I did already, you know? I've watched his videos for the recap for about 6 years now. But certainly more so now. How to get Lightmatica to detect the skull blocks for me? People in chat told me how to do it. There is a schematic verifier, which basically tells you only which blocks you've got wrong and doesn't render the rest of it. And it will render those through blocks, apparently. So that has made things very, very easy for me. And I am wholeheartedly appreciative of people in chat being patient with me whilst I didn't know what was going on. That is 150. 150 Sculk Catalyst. Now, to be fair, I have gotten a good handful of those from under the Great Bridge as well, but I almost consider the Great Bridge part of my base because it's one of my builds. Does my partner play Minecraft? Not on the regular. We have played together before on streams for charity events and stuff, but they aren't really a Minecraft player. They play video games on a fairly infrequent basis. Their leisure activity of choice is usually, like, watching TV and movies or reading. So I don't play video games a huge amount. But we have a couple of video games in common.
Well, that's just
See anything strange under the Great Bridge? Nope. Wasn't looking for it, so I didn't see it. Plush Vader, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime. I like how these are showing up as incorrect in the schematic because the sheep and cows keep grazing. In fact, I don't think the cows do they? Where's this one placed? Okay, there we go. I'm a building genius. Thank you. Looking forward to getting back to doing that. Okay, a few of the extras here need to get bundled. Is this a Sculk Catalyst Finder? It is, yeah. I'm using Lightmatica to detect them. Some people in chat gave me some really handy tips on how to do that. So we are, for all intents and purposes, Sculk finding. Okay, let's update the counter real fast. That's 128, so we need to be 157. Yeah. Yeah, imagine if people did this for the Hermitcraft Easter egg hunt, if they just used Lightmatica to find carved pumpkins. Imagine the cheating that could have taken place. 160. Okay, I think everything else is now inside the tomb. I don't see any others from this immediate area. We might do the other half over here again just to make sure that I haven't scuffed anything. And then I think this area around here probably needs another pass now that I know what I'm doing here. But really I want to take a footprint of the tomb and everything around here just to make sure that there aren't like any catalysts down here or whatever, you know? Alright, I'll put the banners away because they only stack to 16, so they're kind of getting a little bit much. In fact, I might put those back away in Joe's little cubby above the, in like the museum attic. I can grab a couple more of these. So much the better. And the cool thing is, those will stay on the map until the map is taken down and updated, so I might actually leave the map as it is. The cat doubling shall hopefully end soon. And I expect there might even be some up here on this hill, so again, we'll have to be somewhat wary of what's going on there. I see the security door is in place. Good. Well done, Joe. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. These are the first two that he found. I presume all the ones he's found since then have been taken care of. Love a museum that screams at you. Yeah, I'm updating the overlay on screen manually. I don't have anything that can, like, look at my inventory in Minecraft and tell me how many blocks I have. Nothing that advanced. Okay, right. Let's kill the schematic that we have running right now. We need to get a proper footprint for David. The thing about David is that mobs will spawn in here occasionally. I also haven't been down here since we made the copper farm, really, because I knew how much havoc was being wreaked at my base whilst I was underground and the night came. So I just haven't been back here at all, which is kind of a tragedy in itself, actually. I think the furthest point will probably be, like, in there somewhere. Like, a little bit further that way and a little bit that way. And then we just go all the way to the surface in the far wing. He didn't do any indoor or sensitive areas. Well, there are definitely some in my storage system, so I'm not entirely certain I'm believing you there. Just need that to come out through the floor here. Take a quick look at the... Wait, hang on, that's not right. Oh, it is. Weird. I didn't quite get a feeling for how far forward this storage system was built. It actually lines up quite closely with the door, which is odd, but nice, I suppose. Yeah, I assume he didn't get down into here. But let's add a little bit to this side, just in case. Analyze area. Okay, so there are 9 Sculk catalysts in here. And we saw a few of them from the entrance, so he's probably just done like a couple around here Maybe like one down here, one down there kind of thing, but just want to be sure. That's Z. Where's the... What do I need to do to move this? There we go. Just in case. Okay, there's now a lot more things in here. Yeah, still only 9. Okay, so he's not gone in there. Fair enough. Worth checking. Okay, and this is how far out David goes underneath my base, which is quite fun. Okay, we'll save that and have that as the tomb footprint. We'll create a placement for that. And we'll move our schematic placement thing so that it comes over here. This is the first time I've actually taken any kind of schematic thing for David, though, which is quite fun. Oh, that's... Yeah, performance-wise, that's not great. I will thank you to put it in the ground. Okay, whew. There was some bizarre frames for a minute there. Where are we at right here? 91, okay. I need to find the one in here. There were a couple in here, actually, weren't there? There was some... I think up on this level? Yeah, there's one. So now we replace this. I have to go into edit mode. Oh, it's so nice letting it get dark outside and not having to worry about that messing with my base. Now we can put this back down where it belongs. Go into this, verifier, wrong blocks, and now it will tell us where those are. Perfect. So yeah, he didn't go into my storage system at all. No sensitive areas were touched during the making of this absolute mess. Let's go with dirt and stone. Let's grab this. We're on 161. What am I working on today? Making sure that my base doesn't turn into a massive Sculk-filled area by removing all of the Sculk catalysts Cubvan placed. And then if I had time, which I may do thanks to how swiftly this has gone, with a little bit of help from chat, I will probably end up repairing some of the roads and stuff around here as well. Aerodymia, thanks so much for the 14 months. So very kind of you. Thank you so much. And Seamus the Hog Monster with the 4 months as well. Thank you very much for that. Can keep the catalysts for XP. Yeah, I've needed XP. It's funny, levels seem to be the hardest thing to get on this server. Alright, I think the tomb is clear at least. Oh, a trip into the fresh night air will do me good. Ah. Beautiful. I might kill some mobs. I might shoot some creepers for gunpowder. It'd be like old times. I landed on the museum roof. I was like, why is my bow making such a horrible noise as I draw it back? I forgot Joe had done that. Alright, that's that. We can probably delete all of those later. There are going to be some areas around here which will still have Sculk catalysts. I think I probably need to still sample some of these areas. But I could sample them by killing mobs nearby. That's another option. What are we currently on in terms of this? I guess 170? No, wait, that's 128. Have I overcounted? Would that be 160? No, 170, right, because all of them... Yeah, I'm being stupid. Maths is hard. Which mod am I using to locate Sculk? Lightmatica, which I use for basically everything else around here, apparently, so... It's been a good friend to me. If someone accidentally lands on the roof, at least I'll know them are around. True. Makes for an entertaining alarm clock, if nothing else. Spacey Parker, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Oh, look at that. Mobs dying in the sun. Not a chance of Sculk spreading. Glorious. Yeah, I think we need to check the area around here a little more thoroughly, just in case. Because there are some patches that I won't have attended to closely enough. Love the little hole in the wall. Yeah, it's just the place I go when I need to have a door between me and the outside world. Okay, let's take a big, wide sample of this. Because for all I know, he's done my sugarcane farm as well, you know? Okay, we'll start over there. This has been a really interesting way of stretching the limits of Lightmatica. And seeing how much it's actually capable of doing. Which is a whole lot. I'm not sure... I guess that's already going through the floor, right? Not sure what the elevation we're working with is on the opposite side. Yeah, I guess we'll probably dig that down a little bit further, like so. Raise that all the way up. So that at least takes into account the height of those buildings. Analyze that area. When it has a second to tell me how many materials are in this spot. It's really thinking about it. It's like, nah, too big. So the thing is, if we save this... Too big? It's now it's now having to save that, and it's like, give me a minute. Oh, we've got to reload the far chunks. I guess, yeah, if we're not, like, dead center of this, then it's going to have a hard time, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Much better. Much better. 12 Sculk catalysts still in this area. Very good. Big outline. Yeah, again, we are doing stuff in Litematica that I've literally never had to do before. Okay, that's doing that from the bottom left corner, which is over here. Okay. So now... Oh yeah, hang on. I should probably... Oh. I love the fact that when you're in free cam mode like that, it shows your name over your head when you open your inventory. That's really funny to me. Let's save that over big outline. Oh, we can't do that. Big outline 1. There we go. Welcome to everybody's workflow when it comes to naming projects. Big outline, final, definitely final this time. End. Okay. Let's remove that. Pull that down into place. Replace this with dirt. Hang on. In edit mode. And then tell me where they all are, please. Oh yeah, it's still not seeing all the chunks. Gotta do that from the middle. This area is too big. Final version 2.7. Yeah, exactly. 2_7. Try that again. Start verification. Okay, it's found 2 Sculk catalysts that time. Which are over there. Let's try that again, though. Interesting. There are 12 Sculk catalysts here. I guess they probably weren't in these chunks when I changed the schematic then. Yeah, that makes sense. They're over there in those chunks, and these chunks were the ones that were loaded. Okay, I'll do the same thing over here. This time we'll place one of those there. Wait, if by placing that, I've edited the schematic, then if I take this away... Oh wait, no, I haven't. I guess I haven't edited the schematic after all. But if I do... there's a fake cow there. If I remove these, and I put the Sculk catalyst there, then I convert that into dirt. Okay, now we're talking. Now it should tell me. Okay, great. Perfect. Kind of ignore the fact that it wants me to place those. And we've got some there. There's only a couple left on what I consider to be my land. Oh, and there's still a couple under the road that we just didn't get the first time around. I guess I had thought that Joe had done the first couple of sections of this, so I wasn't too worried about that. Comfiest Cat, thank you for the 200 bits. And Raiden Ridia, thank you so much for the 14 months. Raven Monster with the 8 months. I think those are the only messages I've missed, but sorry if I've missed anybody else. We'll just check that I'm not broadcasting into somebody else's feeds here. There's one over here by Crag. There's one down here where inevitably some mobs would probably wander in from that darker patch under the bridge. Am I going to tell Joe what my counter is up to so far? I think I will, yes. Big Brain moves with the Schematica mod. Thank chat for that one. Genuinely something I didn't know you could do until today. And honestly, something I can't imagine using for anything other than this. Unless I was working on something really big and I needed the schematic to tell me when there were missing blocks. Armor Plays, thank you so much for 3 months. I tell you what, guys, I'm looking forward to hanging out for the rest of the evening and playing some Pokemon Scarlet. I have a video coming out soon. I do need to check with the other people involved when it's okay to release, because it does concern these events. I have a short of outtakes from that video as well. So that's going to be super fun to release as well. I'm a place, thank you for gifting that sub as well. So kind of you. Thank you so much. And yeah, oh, I bet some of these roads are absolutely riddled with them. Jima will be fine between him and Scar. That whole base should be lit up. I mean, it'll hopefully help the rates in his gunpowder farm as well. We need one more on that. 181. And this is ours, so it doesn't really count. Although I guess technically, because I would have got that from somewhere else, it does count. 182. Okay, feeling a little better about that. Should we get this whole section as well? Because there might be some in here. I mean, we had a schematic for Ratio Road earlier as well. I just need to make sure it's all placed in the correct place. Hopefully there isn't a Sculk catalyst attached to that creeper farm. There might be. I think a lot of them were in the mob grinder over at Hermitopia, so... Is Joe around, or is he elsewhere? Yeah, I checked the orchard already. There were only 2 over there. I did it with a slightly different method, but it seemed like he'd only placed a couple over by the dodos. Why isn't there a Twitter logo on fire above Ratio Road? Didn't really want to give Twitter the free advertising at this point. Let's load up the placement for this one. Push it all the way over there. And all the way down. Oh, yeah, that's... Boy, that's something. I'll do it, like, out the corner of my eye so it's not rendering as much stuff. I feel like I'm almost there, but not quite. Oh, okay, I'm miles off. Never mind. The funny thing was I never made a schematic for this build originally. There we go. Oh, that was an effort. There goes Joe. Analyze this area. A lot of grass blocks. Okay, that's not helpful because I just did that. Do we have any more in... Oh, hang on. Material list. Because this was the one I took earlier. That was the schematic I took earlier. So again, if we go into edit mode and we swap one of these blocks for a catalyst, right? Oh, hang on. Yeah, like that. And then we do this. Now I should be able to go and take a look at whether or not there is one. It's expecting a Sculk catalyst. Where? Is it just the one that I added to it? No. Surely not. Yeah, it expected dirt, it found a Sculk catalyst. Where did it do that? It should be showing me. Oh, there, I see it. Right, down here under the path. Nice. Okay. 183. Yeah, I guess the coords could help with stuff like that. That's not a bad call. I just don't like relying on coords with F3. I don't have mini HUD, not mini HUD, coordinates HUD installed as a data pack. I need some water. Oh, this has been thirsty work. I will just quickly check this hillside alongside the aqueduct as well, because that's clearly an area I've built stuff. We checked the aqueduct itself, like around the base of that, but I just want to do another quick sample of this area. And then, just to calm me down a little bit, I might go and reload David. I think that sort of area seems appropriate. I mean, I've increased the height of this, so we should probably lower that to something approaching ground level and raise the height just so it comes up to the top of the hillside there. And then I'll go somewhere in the middle so that I can make sure everything's loaded. I think about here makes the most sense. And then analyze this area. Nothing. Okay. 4 emerald ore. You love to see it. But no, I think there's nothing on this hillside. So I think we're done. Weird though it sounds, I think we may have found all of them that are immediately a concern to my area. Oh, it is fun watching Joe fly around. Oh. Let's go and reload David. I might also do some mangrove farming on Chop and Tuesday because, for a start, I trained the allays to do it before. But also, I used so much mangrove wood with a skeleton farm that I would really like to get some mangrove wood back, to recoup some mangrove wood. I could really do with some more golden carrots as well. Most annoying tree to chop down at the moment. That's one of the reasons I'm getting allays to help me with that, because I find them, honestly, very helpful for tasks like that. Any plans for how to prank Cub back? No, not really. Is there a lore explanation for this magic site? My usual, like, geophysical imaging tool thing that I have for the other stuff I built around the capital. Archaeologist's intuition, something like that. Cub doesn't really have a base of his own to prank. Not on this server, no. So it makes it kind of difficult. Like, I didn't want to... You know, I don't think it is necessarily particularly fair for Hermitopia to be the target when it's also kind of co-owned by everybody else, you know? Was the tomb lit with soul lanterns before Cub? Yes. No, it absolutely was. They're thematic for the tomb area to begin with, just by the name alone. But it's also a way to keep the lighting in there kind of dim, which is what I wanted from the beginning. Like, it's all fully lit up in there, like nothing can spawn, but the glow lichen and the soul lanterns and torches and stuff are really there for atmosphere. Because 1.18 was the first update that really allowed us to build with atmosphere, so going into 1.19, one of the things I really wanted to do was build using more minimal lighting and actually make stuff feel gloomy. Obviously, the problem with that for a YouTube build is that you don't want it to be so dark that it doesn't show up well on YouTube, so there's always difficulties there, but... Is there a hermit I could conspire with to prank Cub when they get back? Oh, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure people would be willing to help with something like that. It's the hermits. What, are they not going to prank someone? Okay, that's an even number, so I assume we've at least got all the blocks. That time I did not. Joe is singing a wonderful song right now about working for me. Oh, well, that's good. I do appreciate Joe. Okay, 64, 64, 52. That's 180, right? Yeah. Okay, that is every block. Just making sure mathematically that we got everything. Can take this down as well, because we don't really have allays working down here anymore. Yeah, 2 stacks, 52, yeah. Have I been able to use the copper farm much? Yeah, that's why I have 396 levels. I've actually not really needed it too much. I've just been stockpiling it so that other people on the server can have some pre-aged. Because I'm the one with the aging machines, so I can at least make sure that other people have the resources that they want. Even if it's not like a formal resource that my empire provides. Like, I'll probably outsource some of this. I mean, outsource, you know what I mean. I'll probably... give away a lot of this to, like, False or Fwip or whoever technically wants to make copper part of their trades. Stocking False to finally build her roof? Yeah, that may be the case. But yeah, I have so much aged copper now, which is great, because I'm using it for roofs too, but I'm mostly using cut copper, which means you can get 4 times as much if you cut it in a stone cutter, so... Does anyone know where Grian streams? Because he had a stream recently, it wasn't on Twitch, I didn't see anything on his YouTube channel. So, YouTube now has a separate live tab if you go to someone's channel page, and if he's not made his live stream private after he did that, it's probably in the live tab. I think I missed a block in one of these because I've somehow ended up with 1 extra block. It was somewhere around here. There'll usually be one down the end. Or potentially... We just loaded this! Unbelievable. But the system kept up with that. I'm very pleased with that. Wow! That's bizarre. Third line. Oh, brilliant. Well spotted. Thank you, chat. Again, wow. Seriously. Some of these age so fast. By the way, some people in the fan art community for Empires have started drawing David as, like, a child. In the same way that, like, Sausage and Joel have Hermes. And I think it's adorable. Read or heard somewhere that technically a block could update all stages within 1 second, but the odds are very slim. Yeah, basically, like, it's possible for it to age multiple stages within the span of about 4 game ticks, which is too fast for this counter system to read most of the time. But that happens so infrequently that I actually don't need to worry about it happening too often. Like, that block down there, whichever row it was on, the 4th one, I think. Yeah, that block down there managed to age fast enough that we basically turned around and it was done. But since it's been ejected from the system and all the shovels are in there, it means the system was able to count it correctly. It just did that within the space of maybe, like, a minute. But yeah, game ticks are 1/20th of a second, because the game is processing 20 events per second, and that includes like random ticks and that kind of stuff as well. So it's entirely possible for something to be random ticked twice very, very quickly in succession. It's the odds are very high, but it can happen. Oh, I feel so much better. Actually being able to do stuff around here is nice. Fan art for the SMPs is so wild. I know. Like, people are so immensely generous and talented with all of that stuff. So I remain so enamored with it all, you know? Guillermo, thanks so much for that tier 1 sub. Is that a play on Guillermo? If so, that's hilarious. Well done. And if not, cool name. Cool name. How long will the stream go on? We'll be here for another 25 minutes, and then I'll be wrapping up. I normally stream 3 hours. Don't really have much time to do more than that. And tonight, I'm ordering Chinese food for dinner, which I'm very excited about. Love that Doc uses fan art for his thumbnails. It's a nice touch to his videos. As long as he has permission from the artist, then yeah, absolutely. Like, it's the kind of thing that people pay thumbnail artists, obviously, so you want to be respectful of somebody's work and the amount of effort that they put in. But if people are producing that fan art of their own generous free will and they're happy with Doc using it, and sure, like, it's a great way to promote the artist's work and get more eyeballs on it, I suppose. I would just want to make sure that nobody felt like they were being taken advantage of. What's my go-to Chinese food? I love gyoza. I love crispy chili chicken. What else do I really like? I pretty much always get a roast pork chow mein. So Sculk counter how many I've found or how many are left? How many I've found? I found all of them at this point. Thanks to chat with some really cool, handy Lightmatica tips. Yeah, I watched Doc for the recap, so I know that he always asks the artists for their permission and stuff, but yeah, I know some people, like, creators have landed in hot water for being a little bit cavalier with how they use fan artists' work, so I always just want to make sure that everyone's comfortable with that, you know? That's not a fletching table, that's a sheep. Try again. throw some sticks at this guy. Alright, feeling slightly better about that now.
Well, that's just prime.
Miss Moxie, thanks so much for the 7 months. Really appreciate the resub. Thank you. You never know what to write in these anniversary messages. Well, funnily enough, people saying anniversary when they're just talking about a number of months that isn't like a year is one of my weird like pet peeves. Like I try not to call people out about it, and I don't feel like I'm calling you out on this, but like I always find it really funny when people are like, "This is my 3-month anniversary with someone." I'm like, anniversary literally means like the return of the year or something, right? Like it's Annie is like specifically like the Latin prefix for a year of something. So it's if you need a word that means month anniversary or something, then I think we should coin one. Yeah, the base of anniversary is annual. Yeah, it's like something that happens every year. It's Latin for yearly. So yeah, there's I just find it like people want to commemorate stuff. That's adorable. Like I don't want to take that away from people, but also you're doing language wrong.
Well, that's just prime.
It's funny. I talked to that villager, and then like some kind of vocal sample happened in the music, and the guy was like, "Hey," and I was like, "What? Hello? Is this villager talking English now?" Mandolin, thank you so much for the Prime sub. We got one more from you, which means we can get 3 more carrots. Do I play any FPS games off camera? No, not really. I don't tend to play shooters much at all. I played Destiny 1 on the PlayStation 4 for like about a year, but that's just the most recent shooter I've played. There's a lot of folks in the Minecraft community in particular who play like Call of Duty Warzone or Overwatch or a few other things, but never really my speed, especially competitive. Like I'm not good at competitive games. One of the reasons I love Destiny was how cool the co-op element was, if there being like raids and stuff to do. Nursing Geek, Crazy Chris Craft, thank you so much for the 100 bits apiece. We have another hype train rolling. We also have 1,400 people here. Thank you all for coming in. I recognize that this is a very strange stream to have watched, but hopefully you enjoyed it all. We didn't trip any of the shriekers that time. I wonder if Joe like tidied those up afterwards or something. Maybe when he's up there working, he's not having those running all the time. Neptune's Hidden City with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. For fun, for a limited value of the word fun, should we go and see how many catalysts there are in, like, somebody else's base or in Hermitopia or somewhere? Should we go to Hermitopia and just see how many catalysts are there? There's probably not that many, because Hermitopia is not, like, such a broad area. I think the people who are going to have the most trouble with this are people who, like Fwip, for example, who literally lives above a deep dark. So I genuinely don't know how easy it's going to be for him to recognize catalysts that have been placed in the wrong places. But evidently there's a lot going on around here, so let's say let's start here. Probably needs to be a little lower than that. Yeah, okay, cool. In fact, actually, it probably goes down as low as this, right? Oh, wow, there's tons over here, too. Huh, okay. Well, I almost don't need to, because it feels like all of these have been activated already, but... We know we got some from the Great Bridge already. There might be some... There's a few further up in there, it looks like, although those might have been taken away at this point, but we'll probably need to come all the way up here. I don't know if there are really any, like, living quarters in Hermitopia, but there's obviously villagers down there and stuff. So let's do a quick analysis. There are 114 Sculk catalysts currently in Hermitopia. And yes, there are catalysts in the HC logos on either side, but I have not included those in the area of this schematic. And so we also didn't get down here, where it is pretty obvious that there are several more. We didn't get across the river fully, where it is also pretty obvious that there are several more. Somebody has stripped all the acacia over here and left a lot of shulker boxes. What is this? Who are you? What are you building? Oh, I feel like this is probably Grian, because there's gilded blackstone in there, which I think he needed for some of this. Anyway, yeah, that's wild, man. Like, that's wild. Yeah, that is only like halfway up, but I don't know how much is actually up there. I think the mob farm was probably the easiest target. Be a shame that they stripped all the logs, but it's acacia, so it's fine. Honestly, I like most of the stripped logs. The only one I really don't like the look of is spruce. And even then, it's just because it's slightly more difficult to pair with other materials. Like, everything else about spruce wood I really like, but I don't like the stripped logs so much. Oh, hey, the other thorn in my side is here. Well, I should probably start repairing the pathways around here, because there's a lot of that to do. And I honestly don't recall exactly what most of the materials that I used here were, so I'm going to get some dirt and some stone.
Well, that's just prime.
Disaster Jar, thanks so much for the 2 months of Prime. Welcome back. It's almost 5 a.m. here in Australia, but I caught the stream today. Well, thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. We are only going to be here for another 15 minutes or so, so if you need to go back to bed, you can. But I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you so much. Let's grab some mossy stone bricks as well. I had a few boxes of, like, shulkers with path materials in a while ago, but I think I probably emptied them all again for other stuff. Yeah, time to watch my own YouTube videos to see how to repair the paths. Oh yeah, we've already got a fair amount of that. Okay, that's fine. And then we had mud, and we had mud bricks. Cool. When Joe was digging in the path, he focused on grass blocks. Good, that's good to know. Yeah, I think we'll probably fill the whole thing in with grass first, and then I'll decide from a texturing perspective if anything else needs to be other blocks. But I can see he's left a lot of the, like, rooted dirt and coarse dirt and stuff around here, so... Gonna fill this in. Oh, that feels so nice. You know, one of the things Joel always talks about, my podcast co-host, Joel Duggan, he always talks about what artists refer to as the 70-30 rule, where 30% of an image can be detailed, and that leaves the remaining 70% for the eye to rest. And it's a technique I use all the time. If you look at some of the walls of the museum, a lot of those are flat stone because the stone brick blocks are the ones that add the level of detail. And it's not exact. Like, I think I probably have the ratio off a little bit. It's probably closer to 60-40 for me. But, yeah, there's a certain amount of the texture of stone bricks which is still relatively smooth. So it sort of balances out. But it gives the impression that all of that stuff is structural whilst leaving some place for the eye to rest. And this has just been so busy looking for the last little while because of how broken up the ground is that it's almost hurt to look at. So I am, frankly, incredibly happy that that's all taken care of now. expected to see this one right here. There's a little ravine down here I think I blocked up a while ago. There might be a few things around here that were just creeper holes, to be honest. Should add the banners to the total so I know exactly how many were placed. I could, but I sort of don't care at this point. Don't know how many times I've heard it, but you think every day you find a new reason that I'd make a great documenter? Well, thank you. I mean, I assume you mean, like, in terms of movie documentaries, like TV documentaries or whatever. I like to think I've got a decent voice for voiceover stuff, but there are definitely people who are better trained for that kind of thing. There are actors with incredible voices. Got some Tumbletown bandits lurking about. Yeah, we do have them. They're crowded into the side room over there in the ruined house. Yeah, this is certainly looking nicer again. I think some of these were also path blocks here and there, like these. So we might throw a couple of those in here and there, but I don't want to overcomplicate things for myself here. Just getting back into the swing of things. We'll also have lost a couple of things like the natural grass and flowers that were growing around here. Like the weeds in between the cracks and everything, so might come through with a bit of bone meal later. We should do a guided sleep meditation voiceover. That's also not entirely my speed, but I do enjoy listening to podcasts to get myself to sleep. There's something about having, like, calm voices in the background. Like, one of the podcasts I listen to sleep a lot is Exploring Lord of the Rings now, because he's just, like, reading and analyzing chapters of Lord of the Rings page by page, like, paragraph by paragraph. And it's really interesting to me when I'm awake, but when I'm asleep, I'm just like, yep, I can just entirely doze off for this. Oh, hello. You saw nothing. And Joe's fixed this entire wall as well, which is very kind of him. He's done a great job there. The foundation of the building has been repaired. Tumbletown has a beacon? Nice. Could I link to that Lord of the Rings podcast? Yeah, I can. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, here is a link to the project itself, which takes many different forms. It's on Twitch and YouTube because part of the exploration part of exploring Lord of the Rings is there's a Lord of the Rings online game, like an MMO, kind of World of Warcraft style thing, that's been going for, I think, a decade or more. And he goes to locations in the game and talks about them in connection to either what they've been reading or some of the other themes that they've been exploring. And sometimes just explores because there's cool stuff to do in the game. But that's a really fun aspect of the podcast. But as someone who's not that interested in Lord of the Rings Online, I tend to just tune in for the chapter discussion as it happens. Used to play that game, used to really like it. I've got a friend who plays it, like an old kind of school friend. who loves Lord of the Rings Online and plays it with friends and stuff, and has occasionally streamed it, but doesn't have the time to stream regularly because he's a performer. He does other things, but yeah, like what I've seen of it, it seems like a game that cares a great deal about Tolkien's writing. Been so long since I actually read the books. My partner does a stream where they're writing out the entirety of Lord of the Rings by hand using fountain pens and stationery and stuff. And they do that Tuesday through Thursday over at twitch.tv/celeryman. And I love that whole project. I occasionally come in and like read whatever they've written up to, like whatever point the chapter is up to. Getting access denied. How do I solve this? I've no idea. It might be a regional block, in which case you probably need a VPN or something, but I don't know what the issue would be there, because it works fine for me. Didn't see the Sculk counter in the screen. Will it be updated every time we find a Sculk? Oh, we've done all of them. Like, all of the ones in this region are now taken care of. I just needed to have some kind of on-screen display of how many we found. And obviously when Joe was finding them, he left a banner where each of them was, but I personally just wanted to get them all taken care of. Are there any of the Hermits I haven't played or recorded with yet that I would like to? I haven't had a chance to do much with B-dubs other than the Dodo short, but he's obviously doing his Create mod series right now as well. I haven't really had a chance to hang out with Zombie Cleo much either. And I think that's just a timing thing. Like, we're online at different times, and Cleo streams a lot of different games. So she's not been on Empires as much. But yeah, love to hang out with them. With Cleo. I think I've basically had a chance to hang out with everybody else. Oh, Tango is the other one. I haven't really done much with Tango other than the Dodo short, again, because Tango's been down in Gobland and then, of course, is also busy with Create, so... there's a lot of folks who've just started, like, fun new series that are also occupying them aside from Empires, and Empires is kind of currently the only thing that I do, because I want to kind of keep up with everybody else who's involved with this project right now, but it's just people finding the time, you know? Love to watch your partner streams. Yeah, Ginger linked it above. Celerymin. Celery like the vegetable, and then M-I-N on the end. The Dodo short was amazing. Thank you. Oh, the road. The road is fixed. The road is fixed. Oh, what a beautiful thing. Yeah, we can take these out as well. I don't know if Joe has taken the map off the wall at any point, but it would be great if he didn't, because then we'd have like a permanent record of where all of the catalysts were. Or where all the ones he found were, at least. But if he has, that's not a big deal, but I just think it'd be kind of a cool thing. Elle, thanks so much for the 42 months. 42? Oh my goodness. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. We also had Grey Obi and Disaster Jar. Thank you for the 2 months each. I think I mentioned Disaster Jar's one earlier. I think I might have missed Grey Obi. It looks beautiful again. I'm so thankful for that. We have one little patch there as a commemorative reminder. And then this was all converted into Sculk, so that just needs turning back into stone. Luckily, mud and mud bricks don't occur naturally, so they don't tend to get converted by Sculk stuff, but that was less of a concern after that. Let's take a quick look around, see if there's anything else that needs repairs. There's a little patch over here, I think. And then a lot of this looks weird just because I was doing some tree farming around here, but I think Joe found a catalyst here as well. You know, if I wanted to do this like the proper TV archaeologist way, the kind of archaeologist way that you learn from learning about archaeology in school, what I would have done is go up in the sky up to about here and lay everything out in a grid and do like chunk-based grid lines. And then document where each of the catalysts was found, and then have it be like, you know, in A5 there were this many or whatever, and like sample it that way. But it's the kind of thing that would take too long and probably would only entertain me and the occasional archaeologist who watch my channel. Do I think Cub will be back? No, I think he's gonna be fine after this. If he's back, I don't think it's gonna be in a Sculk placing capacity. And for the full story of that, you probably want to watch our episodes this week. Do that at someone else's base. I mean, we could still do that, yeah. Like, I don't know who else has been hit especially hard by this, but... I think I'll fill in this. Actually, no, I think I'll... We'll solve this problem subtractively. Let's remove some of the grass from around here. Oh, there goes Joe. Oh, it's so nice to feel safe out at night. And not even because this place is spawn-proofed, but because it's Sculk-proofed. I would love to just be able to watch a couple of zombies burn in the sun right now. Starting to feel like my base again. And folks, I think with that reaching the 3-hour mark, I think we're going to call it there. Is it just 183 just in my empire? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I counted the Great Bridge in that as well, which probably had a full stack in, more or less. But yeah, like, I think of the Great Bridge as part of my turf, so... I also wanted to add a little bit of Sculk vein around this, so it looks a little bit more, like... legit, you know? Do we hold an exorcism for Cub? Something like that. Something like that. Why is his head there? I mean, wait and watch the video. You'll find out. I think that works. We'll put a glass case around that later. He's a plant. Gotta nurture him and watch him grow. Alright, friends, that's where we're going to wrap up for today. If Joe is streaming, we'll probably raid Joe. Since you've all been such a kind audience, I'll send you over to somebody equally kind to us, specifically. Joe is doing a bonus stream on Empires. He's over on Twitch and on YouTube. But we're going to send you over to the Twitch side of that, because it's easy to do that with the raid. Let me just check that I've got his username right. It is just Joe Hills. Perfect. Alright, folks. I'll send you folks over to Joe. You can use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag PixelRaid to show some love, and you can let him know that we found all of the Sculk catalysts within the ancient capital. So he is now perfectly safe to spend nights here as long as he's not in harm's way of other mobs. His nights at the museum can continue, I suppose. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed Joe's stream. I'll be back on Tuesday for another Choppin' Tuesday stream where we'll probably be getting some mangrove wood back in stock. And I'm off to enjoy Chinese takeaway. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.